everybody. This is Dylan Jovine Behind the Markets. Happy Thursday. Today is Thursday, May 14th. We got a bad inflation print this week. The U.S. Consumer Price Index, CPI, inflation officially rose to 3.8%, which brings it to the highest level since May of 2023. And that's largely driven by the increase in oil prices. And just for context, in 6 months, U.S. gas prices have risen 65%. And what's concerning about this is for the first time in 3 years, U.S. inflation is outpacing U.S. wage growth, meaning that it costs more, the costs are going higher, your income is staying the same. It's not keeping up with costs, or it's even going lower. That's really not a good place to be. And there's a bunch of reasons. First of all, what does it mean? It means that incoming Fed Chairman Kevin Warsh is going to be very unlikely to cut interest rates. That would just be crazy. You don't cut rates into something like this. As a matter of fact, you might raise rates to cool things down. But again, he's a little constrained by the fact that this is based on the Iran war. And the question is, what happens now? Is this a temporary increase? Is it more structural? But we have the Consumer Price Index, which is the price that people like us pay for things, right? Consumers like us pay for the water, we pay for this, we pay for my hat, whatever. Then you have the Producer Price Index, which is the price companies that sell us things, it's the price they pay for things. So let's say I need to buy leather to make this, not leather, it's not even that nice, but I need to buy materials to make this case and then sell it to people named Dylan Jovine. So all those inputs, the PPI, that also starts to rise when oil prices go up, because think of all the trucks and the trains and the ships and the planes that deliver these kinds of things. Think of all the factories that run on that kind of energy. So really increases in energy seep through the entire thing. Goes right to producers. They pass increases on to consumers. You think about jet airplanes going on a flight, those price tickets are going to be much higher. And of course, what's unique also about gas is that it hits people directly at the pump every single week. It's like, I know for some people, it's like a slap in the face. And even bigger picture, there's a bigger issue going on. Inflation, ladies and gentlemen, I've spent my entire adult life studying history. And whether you're talking about the French Revolution, the revolution in 1918, the Weimar Republic getting toppled, you're talking about countless revolutions. The fingerprints before the revolution starts is inflation. And we could see it in our body politic. There's just a lot more violent left and right stuff. People are working 2 jobs. They don't feel like they're keeping up. They're on stupid social media. They see some bobblehead with a Ferrari and a yacht, and they just feel like, good Lord, my goodness, come on. And even more disturbing, it's interesting, since 2004, I have this chart. When you look at the stock market as a share of GDP versus total wages as a share of GDP, in 1996 to 2012, since that area, they were about the same. So basically, people made as much as about the stock market was worth in relation to the size of GDP. But since then, the stock market has just soared, meaning if you own assets like stocks, you've done great. You don't necessarily feel it. But if you're a working person on an hourly wage, you're getting a smaller slice of the pie, period. You're getting a smaller slice of the pie. And I remember Charlie Munger saying many years ago, I was in my 20s when I heard it, is inflation is the way democracies die. And I didn't understand it at the time. I was too young. But you could see how true that is, because look, the number one cause of revolution is inflation. It is not impossible to imagine a scenario where if that gap keeps continuing, the rich get richer, asset owners keep getting richer, and wage earners keep getting poorer in relation to the asset owners, they're going to pick up pitchforks and come for you. You know what I mean? That's just the game here. I'm serious. So, and you could see that just to show you how crazy this is. I have friends of mine in New York, Jewish friends, who voted for anti-Jew, anti-Semitic mayor Mandami just because they're in that much pain. These aren't really the brightest people I know. When you're in pain, you will do crazy things. When you feel like you need another job to feed your kids and you're not even buying crazy things, at some point you'll realize, heck, maybe I'm not the failure. Maybe the system is the failure. And when those kinds of things, believe it happens fast, guys. It happens fast. So this is an important subject for us to keep our eyes on. I don't see how ultimately we don't end up rebalancing wealth distribution in this country, but that's a topic for another day. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Have a good Thursday. I will see you tomorrow.